As past participants know, one of the most unique and iconic features of the Verizon New York City Triathlon is the start. Before our athletes ride up traffic-free Hudson Parkway and run to the finish in the heart of Central Park, they kick things off on the banks of one of our nation's most well-known bodies of water, the Hudson River. There are plenty of assumptions and misperceptions about the Hudson, its cleanliness, and overall safety, and we want to clear the air. Before you put on your swim cap and toe the start line, here are a few helpful things to know about the Hudson River. Fun fact number 1, the Hudson is a tidal estuary. It's an extension of the ocean where salty seawater combines with fresh water from northern tributaries. That's why you'll notice the water is a little salty when you jump in for your swim. Fun fact number 2, unlike most rivers, the Hudson actually flows in 2 different directions. Because of its proximity to the Atlantic Ocean, the Hudson rises and falls to the flow of the tides, creating changes in flow direction. In general, when the ocean tide rises, the river current flows north, called a flood current. When the tide falls, the current flows south back towards the sea, an ebb current. At slack times, the tide stays fairly stagnant, not flowing in either direction. As you can imagine, these changes in tide can impact the swim significantly, so it's crucial for us to check tide charts and monitor river currents when planning our event. The most important factor in planning is making sure our swimmers are moving with the current. At high tide, we want our swimmers moving north. At low tide, we want them swimming south. Since this year's transition area is located at Riverside Park, north of the start line, we also want the current flowing north with our swimmers, which means we need a flood current. After we find dates that work according to the flow of the river, we work with the City of New York to find a weekend with no other pre-scheduled events on the course. Once we agree on a date that works for both parties, we move to the next key to the equation, time. Since tides and currents change throughout the day, we need to make sure we're starting the triathlon early enough on race day so that the tide is moving toward flood, i.e. north. This is why we're moving our race time back to 6 a.m. this year. After we finalize the date, time, and direction of the swim, we move forward with the final piece of the equation, water testing and cleanliness. Although the Hudson has a reputation for being dirty and polluted, things have taken a turn for the positive over the last few decades. Not only have several pieces of legislation been put into place to improve and protect river cleanliness, but also, according to the section chief of the Marine Sciences at the NYC Department of Environmental Protection, Hudson bacteria levels have improved dramatically since 1992. And it's not just testing that shows the improvement. Dolphin, seal, and even whale sightings have become more and more common in New York Harbor as the water quality continues to improve. That being said, runoff from intense rainstorms can still cause significant river pollution. Because of that, it's important we test the water consistently to make sure it's safe for all of our athletes. Leading up to the triathlon, we worked with the NYC DEP to test the river water and monitor bacteria levels once every month. During race week, we test the water every day, Tuesday through Friday. As long as bacteria levels stay below the threshold acceptable for swimming quality, we're off to the races, literally. We know swimming in the Hudson can be intimidating, but know that we have your safety in mind at all times, from pre-race date selection and water testing to swim advisors, lifeguards, kayaks, and buoys once you hit the water. We hope this video was helpful, and we can't wait to see you at the start line this July. For more info, check out these helpful sources. And as always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.